Percy. Hi, Percy.
So I'm here for a very special episode of Deep Talks with a very good friend of mine, Percy. Do you have anything you want to say? You have a newfound fame. You've gained so many followers on Instagram. How does it feel? What was that like? You want to get a comment?
I think, well, he doesn't know the difference, but for us it's been fun because it's just, you know, the more people who know Percy, the better. He spreads a lot of love. We get a lot of comments from people saying how much they love him and how happy he makes them, even when these times are not so happy these days.
What's it like to be famous?
It takes all in stride.
What made you want to train Percy to be a therapy dog?
He's just such a sweet dog that he deserved to be shared with the world. It's just, it's a fun thing to do together. We qualify together as a therapy dog team. So he's the therapy dog, obviously, and I'm the handler, and he can only do therapy visits with me. So it's kind of something for us to do together. And he was just such a sweetheart, and everybody was always telling me how calm he was and how sweet he was. So I thought it was appropriate to kind of share that love with the world and get to have an activity that we did together.
That's awesome! So what's the best part of being a therapy dog?
The love. He'd say the love, for sure.
What's the best part for you?
For me, it's seeing people actually being affected by him. Like, I have so many stories. Like, he's been doing this for 4 years almost now. And there's so many stories of people being cheered up by him. You know, stories of people who were sad or upset when we came across them at the, the nursing home, and then he goes into their rooms and they, people who were crying stop crying because they stopped to play with the dog. And there was a father at the library who told me, I gave him, Percy has trading cards. I didn't bring any, but you probably have some already.
One.
Yeah. I gave him a trading card and I didn't even remember him, and he came back like a year later and told me his toddler's first word was Percy. And that the toddler had to say goodnight to the Percy card every night before he went to bed. and I didn't even remember them, right? Like, so this was just a family I saw at the library. I was handing out cards. I didn't remember him at all, but that's the effect Percy had on the little boy. So.
Oh, Percy, you're so special. I know. Do you have a favorite place you like to visit?
Oh, does he have a favorite? I think he likes them all, but there's a place called Aptus, which is for adults with developmental disabilities, and he gets really excited when we go there. There's just a lot of energy in that place. And when we come in and everybody kind of crowds around him, he's always super excited and waggly when we go there. But he likes everywhere we go. It's just a place like the nursing home is quieter, it's kind of, we come in, he's happy to see everybody, but it's not like as exciting for him. And I think he likes the library too, because all the kids are there.
Kids like to read him stories.
Yeah, we haven't been there in months though. All these visits are on hold. The only visits we've been able to do are at the nursing home. We go and we wave in the windows, and that's all we've been able to do for months.
Do you have a favorite place you like to visit?
Not really, all of the above, right? Like, some of them are sometimes kind of sad, if people are like, we've been going to the nursing home for, like I say, about 4 years. That was the first place we started visiting, and we've definitely lost friends over the years when you visited a place like that, and with COVID, even more friends. So that can be hard sometimes, and so I also kind of enjoy the happiness of a place like Aptus or the library, but it's very rewarding to go everywhere. And Humber is always fun because, again, it's it's students, it's young people, they're excited to see him. I work there anyway, so it's just nice to have them.
I would skip class just to pet Percy for an hour and sometimes fall asleep. Usually I would fall asleep.
Yeah, they would cuddle on the floor together all the time. It was his special friend at Humber, and then he left.
I'm sorry.
There's others he loves too, but there's not another Auntie Paige.
Percy was my Valentine.
Yeah, that's
right.
right.
Remember that?
Yes, I do. I think we still have the toys. They're probably buried somewhere, but we have them.
Do you remember when I was your Valentine? Do you remember that? Do you remember that? So you're both faculty at Humber College. You're both faculty. Percy actually will come to class with Melanie, and she told me that he will go and sit next to the person who's the most nervous when they're writing tests.
Well, they sort of debate amongst themselves. The student, whoever kind of calls it first, Percy will sit with them during their tests. But everybody's welcome to come give him a hug before the tests start, and often they pet him as they're leaving too. And even on days when we don't have tests, everybody wants to pet and cuddle with Percy, so he is definitely a feature of the classroom. I've had the odd student who's been afraid of dogs who's totally come around after spending a semester with him. One student on the first day, I don't bring him with me on the first day, and the student said, please don't bring a dog to class. I have a real phobia of dogs. And I kind of talked to him and I said, well, the dog will be at the other side of the room. He'll be on leash. Do you want to try it for 1 week and see how it goes? Because the other students really wanted Percy to come. And he said,
I wonder why.
he said, okay, let's try it. And by the end of the semester, he was petting him and he was having like his friends record it so he could show his family that he was not afraid of this particular dog. And so he really kind of came around for sure. So he had that effect on him. But yeah, students love him. He definitely helps with mental health for sure.
That's awesome. Well, on that topic, what advice can you give to students who are struggling with their mental health? Percy, what advice can you give to students who are struggling with their mental health?
He recommends hugs. Yeah, find a dog to hug. What can I say? Talk to your teachers. Like, I wish my students would talk to me. I don't know. It's so much harder in this environment to reach out to them. You know, in person, it's easy for someone to say during break, hey, do you have a minute? Can I tell you what's going on in my life? But when we're, you know, our entire class is online, there's just no one-on-one. There's no time for that. So I tell students they can email me. We can get together one-on-one in the classroom, but when nobody else is there, the classroom, when nobody else is there. But, you know, I don't hear a lot from them, and I know they're struggling. So tell your teachers what's going on. I think more of them will be understanding than you think. And even if they're not, what does it hurt, right? Tell them what you need, tell them what would help, and trust that they're human too, and maybe going through things also.
For sure. Self-advocacy is very important. In regards to people's like moods and behaviors, what kind of reactions have you seen with Percy?
Oh my god. Well, I think he just makes people happy. He can kind of lift up a room. Like, I've had people who are sad just, you know, come look for him so they can give him a hug. So yeah, for sure.
I did that.
For sure, but you're definitely not the only one. So he definitely cheers a lot of people up at Humber and everywhere he goes. He's just a little ray of light. I find even a lot of the places we go, he's there as much for the staff as anybody else. So like at the nursing home, obviously he loves the residents, but there's certain staff people who come looking for him too.
Yeah. I remember at Humber, a bunch of staff would always know exactly who he was.
Yeah, for sure. The fact that everybody knows him at Humber. He walks through the hall and I can hear people going, hi Percy, and I have no idea who they are, but they know him. So yeah, lots of staff people. One place we visit is Safe Haven. Again, we haven't been anywhere in like 6 months, but Safe Haven is a home for children with they call it a home for children with multiple disabilities. So it's a real range, and there's some kids there who are so disabled they don't understand there's a dog in front of them, so they're not interacting with them at all, but he'll still go and sit next to them and lick their hands and whatever. But sometimes when we go there, there's nobody who really wants to play with him other than the staff, and so he's kind of there for the staff because some of the kids aren't able to really interact with him. So he's got his uses, you know. No matter what, there's always somebody who wants to see Percy.
How do you take care of your mental health? How do you take care of your mental health, Percy?
Lots of treats.
Oh, he knows.
He walks in the park. A little squirrel chasing takes the edge off, right? He likes to chase squirrels.
And I know he likes swimming.
He loves swimming, but I think it's now officially too cold for swimming. But in the summer we go swimming. There is an indoor pool we sometimes go to. I don't know if that's a good idea this year. We'll see how things are when it gets really cold out.
How do you take care of your mental health?
Well, Percy.
Of course.
That's kind of the main thing. He's my best buddy, and yeah, just kind of, you know,
Percy
like
helps
everybody.
my mental health too, even if he's not physically in front of me. If I see a picture of him,
That's the joy
makes
of
my
the
day.
Instagram, right? Yeah, I mean, same idea. I've got a lot of anxieties myself, so he's a good friend to have around, and yeah, family, friends, the usual. Walking with him, taking him out to play is often the highlight of my day, my week. It's just you're out in the fresh air and you get to watch him running and playing, which is just pure joy. So Percy's my mental health helper.
So the one thing to take away from this interview, get a dog. I have a treat for you because you did such a good job. Stay there.
Stay there. Can you sit nicely? Are you going to sit like a good boy? Yeah, but you got to sit. Sit.
I made it
my
just for you.
The reason for the popcorn, you got to explain the background, why he always got popcorn at school.
So Humber and Ignite, so that's the student federation, they would have popcorn with several events, and Percy would be there and he wouldn't be allowed to have it because he would be working, so I brought him some popcorn because he did such a good job.
He always got whatever fell on the floor, but he never got his own.
Oh yeah, he'd be searching for it.
But popcorn day was like his favorite day, and he could smell it from way down the hall.
That's so cute. Okay. I have all my questions.